Now let's move the text to a different spot. First we will need to make sure the text is in object mode. Then we can left click on the text field and drag it to where we want. Release the left mouse button when you are satisfied with the text location. We can't see it, but we have just overlapped two other text fields. If text fields become overlapped, it may create the same web browser problem that we discussed earlier. In this case, we should be okay because there isn't any actual content being overlapped, and the text is far enough away from each other to compensate for most browser font settings. However, we can delete this text field since we won't be needing it. To do this, we left-click on one of the text fields to put it in object mode and then press the delete key. We can now do the same for the other text field. Now that we have finished editing the previous text field, let's learn how to insert a new text field. Our text editing tools should still be visible. If not, just click the text button on the taskbar. Let's click the Insert button, and this will add a text editing cursor next to our regular arrow cursor. This means we can now click anywhere on our workspace and begin typing our new text. We will just type in the phrase New Text. Now click outside the text field to exit the edit mode. There is a drop-down menu next to the Insert button for advanced text options. However, we just want to be able to add basic text to our page at this time. These other options will be covered in the advanced tutorials. Before we move on, let's left-click on the new text field to place it in object mode. Now we are ready to go over the rest of the text editing options. The next button to the right is labeled Modify. What this does is put the selected text into edit mode. This is just an alternative to double-clicking on a text field. Exit the edit mode once again to go back into object mode. We've already covered the font icon, so let's move on to the size icon. This is the quickest way to edit the size of your text, but has one drawback. It only gives you 7 different sizes to choose from. This works great when doing a rough outline of a website and can speed things up significantly. The face icon allows us to edit the color of our text quickly. It also gives us quite a few more color options than what we were given in the font dialog box. When we click on it, we will see 4 different tabs with several different options on each tab. We won't cover all of these options because they are based on preferences and will take some experimenting to find out what will look the best. However, there is one option I would like to mention which is located on the first tab labeled Color. Once we are in the Color section, we will notice a paint can icon next to the selected color. When clicked on, another dialog box is opened with a much larger color selection. Left-click on a color to select it, and then click OK to apply the changes to the text. Now we could click the Fill icon to open the background color dialog box. A majority of the time, the background color will be set to transparent by default. To add an actual color to the background, first we need to uncheck the box next to the word transparent. Then select a color and click OK. The next button labeled Justify opens the Justify drop-down menu. It simply aligns the text to the left, center, or right depending on your preference. Let's justify the text to the center by clicking the center option. We will skip over the link icon because this feature applies to a lot of different aspects of our site and will have its own tutorial video. The last option is to add a shadow to our text. Once the shadow dialog box is open, we can turn this feature on by checking the Display Shadow box. We can also choose to convert the text into an image by checking this box. The text can still be edited in WebEasy after selecting this option, but when we upload this page to our hosting provider, it will be in picture form. One use for this is to eliminate the web browser font settings issue. This will allow us to place text fields close to each other and not worry about them overlapping. However, let's leave this unchecked for now. All the other options are based on preferences, so we can play with these settings until we like what we see. Click OK when finished to add the shadow to our selected text. The outside of the text field now has a shadow. If we wanted the shadow on the individual letters themselves, we would need to go back into our background color dialog box and select transparent. After we click OK, we will see that the shadow has now taken the shape of our text. This concludes the text editing portion of the tutorial series. Check out Part 3 to learn different methods of adding and modifying photos on our website. Please remember to leave any questions regarding WebEasy Professional in the comment section below.